The Superior SS100 is one of those rare machines that instantly captures the imagination of anyone who lays eyes on it, a piece of history and engineering that bridges the gap between the golden era of motoring and modern admiration for timeless design. First introduced in 1937, the SS100 wasn't just a car, it was a statement of style, performance, and craftsmanship. Built by SS Cars Limited, which would later become Jaguar, the SS100 represented the pinnacle of British sports car design before the Second World War changed the motoring landscape forever. The 100, in its name, referred to the car's ability to reach 100 miles per hour, a remarkable feat at the time and one that placed it among the fastest road-going vehicles of its era. It was powered initially by a 2.5-liter straight-six engine, delivering around 102 horsepower, and later upgraded to a more potent 3.5-liter unit producing approximately 125 horsepower. This increase in power allowed the SS100 to reach even higher speeds with improved acceleration, cementing its reputation as a true driver's car. What made the SS100 so special wasn't just its performance figures, it was the way it looked and felt. The long, sweeping front wings, the upright grille, the exposed headlamps, and the wire spoke wheels all combined to create a shape that was both elegant and purposeful. Sitting low to the ground with a two-seater open-top body, it delivered the pure, unfiltered experience of early sports motoring. The driver sat close to the rear axle, giving a feeling of connection to the road that modern cars, with their layers of technology, can rarely replicate. The chassis was a development of the company's earlier SS Jaguar saloon underpinnings, tuned and lightened for sports performance. Suspension was by semi-elliptic leaf springs front and rear, and while by today's standards it was firm and somewhat rudimentary, in the late 1930s it gave the SS100 exceptional handling for its class. The car's relatively light weight, around 1,200 kilograms, helped it to feel nimble and responsive, particularly on the winding roads it was so clearly built for. Production numbers were low, partly because the SS100 was an expensive, specialist machine and partly because the onset of war halted manufacturing altogether. Between 1936 and 1940, only 314 SS100s were produced, split between the 2.5-liter and 3.5-liter variants. Today, that scarcity has made the SS100 one of the most sought-after classic British sports cars in existence, with surviving examples commanding high prices at auction and in private sales. Collectors are drawn not only to its rarity but also to its undeniable beauty and historical importance. The SS100 also earned a reputation in motorsport, competing successfully in rallies, hill climbs, and endurance events. Drivers appreciated its blend of power, balance, and reliability, qualities not always guaranteed in performance cars of that era. Notable victories and appearances in competitive events helped to boost the SS100's profile internationally, and it remains an icon among pre-war racing enthusiasts. Owning an SS100 today is not simply a matter of having a classic car, it is about preserving a living piece of motoring heritage. Many owners keep their cars in immaculate condition, taking them to concours events, classic car shows, and historic racing gatherings. The mechanical simplicity of the SS100 compared to modern cars means that skilled hands can maintain and restore them, keeping the legend alive for future generations. The link between the SS100 and the Jaguar brand is also significant. When SS Cars Limited rebranded as Jaguar after the war, much of the prestige that the SS100 had built carried over into the new name. In many ways, the SS100 laid the foundation for Jaguar's later sports car successes, such as the XK120, E-Type, and the brand's continued presence in high-performance motoring. The spirit of the SS100, a car built not just for transport but for the joy of driving, can still be felt in Jaguar's DNA today. Visually, the SS100 remains one of the most beautiful cars ever created. Its proportions, detailing, and craftsmanship speak to an era when design was an art form and cars were made as much by hand as by machine. Every curve and line had a purpose, yet the overall effect was one of elegance rather than aggression. From the polished grille and sweeping fenders to the leather-trimmed interior, it was a car built to be admired from every angle. For many enthusiasts, the appeal of the SS100 lies not only in its history and looks but in the experience of driving it. With no modern driver aids, no power steering, and no electronic safety nets, piloting an SS100 is a raw, engaging process. The driver must be fully involved, anticipating corners, managing the throttle, and feeling the car's responses directly through the wheel and seat. This sense of involvement is something that modern cars, no matter how fast or technologically advanced, often lack. In the world of classic cars, the Superior SS100 of 1937 occupies a special place. It is a reminder of a time when speed and style went hand in hand, when engineering ingenuity was matched by artistry, and when driving was as much about emotion as it was about getting from one place to another. Whether admired in a museum, roaring down a country lane, or gleaming on a concours lawn, the SS100 continues to inspire and captivate. It stands as a testament to the vision and skill of its creators and as a symbol of the enduring romance of the open road. And with that, we close today's journey into the past, celebrating one of the most iconic sports cars of the pre-war era. The Superior SS100 is more than a classic, it is a legend, one that continues to fire the imagination nearly a century after its debut. I'll see you in the next video.